Coming up on OU Nightly, the Norman Central Library closed its doors last spring, the uncertainty around its reopening.
And this weekend is going to be pretty nice with temperatures in the 80s, but it won't be so nice when we look at Monday as we're seeing a level 3 out of 5 severe risk.
And a shooting at a Dallas high school leaves one injured. What police know so far. This is OU Nightly. Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Marilyn Fitzer.
And I'm Coy Taylor. We begin tonight with breaking news. The Norman Central Library is closing indefinitely.
OU Nightly's Darian Curry is live at the library with more on what city officials had to say.
Yeah, Ireland, they are closing because the city continues to find mold here at the library, even after months of mold remediation, which have not worked so far. City officials report the Cabins Group, a company helping the city with the problem, found more leaks and standing water in the library, plus more mold, all because of recent rain. The city says it has already spent more than $900,000 to try to fix this problem. And as seen on your screen, the city's recent report lists water damage as the main issue currently. Norman's website says they'd like to reopen, but haven't announced a date. And they also have a temporary location on Santa Fe Avenue. Reporting for OU Nightly, I'm Darian Curry.
Thanks, Darian, for that update. Your campus weather authority is watching Monday closely as severe storms are in the forecast.
That's right, Ireland. Our team has been tracking the threat for days.
Now let's get right over to meteorologist Drake Foley with the latest. Drake.
Thanks, Ireland and Coy. Right now we're taking a look at that risk, and it's a level 3 out of 5 for most areas from western to central Oklahoma, and a slight risk is encompassing the rest of the state all the way down to our southeastern border, and all severe hazards could be possible, and that location could change as we get closer. Current temperatures right now across the state, it's beautiful right now, almost in the 80s, almost good enough for me to get a sunburn outside, but luckily that wind is keeping it a little brisk. 27 and 24 out in the southwestern portions of our state, and that's also going to drive some of those allergies as we're looking at trees being high, mold being medium, and grass being low. And then coming up in Maine weather, we're going to talk about a windy weekend, your pool weather returning, and your Monday severe risk. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Drake. Our team coverage continues. OU Nightly CD Finley is live at the National Weather Center, where meteorologists held a special briefing today ahead of Monday's severe weather threat.
Yes, Coy, everyone here is on high alert as we learn today that the conditions are coming together for the potential perfect storm.
One of the differences between Monday and previous events where moisture was a bit on the low side is that we will have mid to upper 60s dew points, which is one of the key ingredients that you look for, combined with the instability, the cold temperatures aloft. I don't think instability will be a concern, and so for that reason, our confidence is higher.
The National Weather Center hosted a weather briefing today, all focused on this Monday's severe weather threat. Many in attendance were meteorology students, making sure to keep up with the weather for their own interest and safety. But you do not have to be a meteorology major to keep track of what's going on around you, especially over this weekend and as we head further into spring. It's time to check the weather forecast on a regular basis, right? It is not something where you hop up in the
To prepare for this upcoming severe weather risk, residents living and working on campus need to know the location of public shelters. Norman residents, be ready to clean out those storm shelters and find the safest location in the center of your home away from windows. Reporting from the National Weather Center, CD Finley, OU Nightly.
And thank you, CD. A confirmed shooter at a high school in Dallas.
We have the update to who's responsible and those who may be injured.
And the cost of drilling on federal land is increasing.
We'll have the latest update in News Center after the break.
Dallas police say there is no active threat at this time following a shooting at a high school. Chewy Dominguez has that and the rest of today's national, international headlines from the News Center.
Police say one person is in custody and another person is injured after a shooting at a high school in southeast Dallas. The Dallas ISD superintendent says one student shot another student in the leg this morning at Wilmer Hutchins High School. The superintendent told local media that the school does have metal detectors, but they are looking into how the student got into the building with the gun. And President Joe Biden says he is expecting Iran to attack Israel, quote, sooner or later. This after it accused Israel of bombing and killing 3 Iranian generals last week. Just today, Israel just says it launched airstrikes in Lebanon, targeting an Iran-backed militant group who they say is backing Hamas. The IDF says this is in response to Lebanon launching 40 rockets toward northern Israel earlier. For the first time in decades, the cost of drilling for oil on federal lands is increasing. The new rule requires firms to pay $150,000 per property, making this the first major update since 1960. Fossil fuel companies also have to hand over more than in royalties for the oil and gas they get from federal property. And the Biden administration say they are canceling another round of student debt, a total of $7.4 billion for more than 270,000 borrowers. Coy, Ireland.
Thank you, Chewy. And blooming boomers, OU's campus just got a little more colorful.
Find out what campus is doing on this spring day.
Yeah. Coming up in weather, we're going to talk about how that severe risk is going to play out and also the warmer temperatures is for your parents' weekend. And welcome back to OU Nightly. Right now, taking a look at our Weather Center cam, and that green grass and beautiful blue sky is amazing, and those conditions outside are even better. Right now, taking a look across our region, we are seeing temperatures in the 80s down near the Texas Panhandle, 73 up in Colorado where it's a little bit cooler. But as we get into our part of the state, it actually starts to drop down. We're seeing 79 though, and that's around what the region is, even 82 up in Guymon. And then going into those lows tonight, though, we are going to be back in those 50s to 40s. Nice weather to walk around tonight or even go for a run to end off your night. And those winds will be around the south to 10 to 15. And then tomorrow, we're back in those 80s, 86 in Woodward, 88 in Guymon, and even in the metro area, we're still in those low 80s. But what I'm excited about is pool, and we're looking at that pool cast right now, 80s for throughout the next week going into Tuesday, even 89 on Sunday. It is going to be a bit brisk with those winds, even nearing 20 on Tuesday. And Monday, I probably wouldn't go out because of a severe risk, and that severe risk is right here. We're looking at that enhanced, and it's stretching down from parts of northern Texas up all the way to our northern border into Kansas, and that level 2 slight risk even stretches out for most of our state. The only place is not really included is Idabel over here, and that's because it's going to probably be in that marginal because we're going to see more of that little avocado color. But as we look into our future cast, we see this moisture start to play around, and that moisture, that's what's going to fuel our storms going in on Monday. We see this dry air here, but that moisture starts to move up. 4 p.m. on Monday, you see those winds. That's where that dry line is going to set up, and that's how those storms are going to fire off. And by 11 p.m., there's just so much moisture here, and that dry line is going to push this way while that moisture puts up, and we're going to see some of that convective inhibition push through and start storms throughout our state, and that's going to push through out Tuesday morning. And then looking at the precipitation for the next couple weeks, we're actually looking at above normal for our area. But if you're out towards, the eastern portions of America, you're going to see below average, but temperature is actually going to be warmer in that west coast, but actually cooler here in Norman. So those temperatures that we're seeing right now are actually going to get cooler next week, and even cooler if you're out here by Chicago out to Washington. But talking about our upcoming 7 days, it's actually going to be wonderful, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen. 82 on Saturday, 89 on Sunday. Before Monday when we're seeing those severe storms, then Tuesday 81, Wednesday 86, then Thursday 80 before we drop down for a cold front on Friday with 64. And I know that I'm really excited for this weekend with the warmer temperatures, I'm going to go down to Waurika for the Rattlesnake Hunting Festival, and I think it's going to be beautiful weather out there. What are your guys' weekend's plans looking like?
Well, I might stay indoors and run the AC. That Sunday 89 temperature, it's going to be feeling like June rather than April.
I think I'm going to go try to catch some softball games since the weather's going to be so nice. Bring out the shorts and sun tanning lotion and whatever else. But thanks, Drake, for that update on that weather, especially for this weekend.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And spring has sprung, and campus is now decked out with fresh flowers on the South Oval. OU Landscape Services planted petunias earlier this morning. The South Oval has pops of pink, purple, and even red. The beds will be filled with the iconic mums around midsummer, and the OU Botanical Society held their annual plant sale. It wrapped up around 3 this afternoon. They had native plants, vegetables, herbs, and even houseplants for sale. And Patty Gasso's girls are back to the Sooner standard after beating BYU last night.
And several Sooner softballers are making a name for themselves on the national stage. Stick with us. Big Friday Sports is next.
Big Friday Sports, I'm Kaylee Carnine.
And I'm Kenzie Eiserman. We have a very busy show for you today, so let's first swing into one of the popular teams on campus. OU softball is back on the winning track after a win over Wichita State on Tuesday. For the first time, the Sooners hosted the Big 12 newcomer BYU last night. Jada Coleman opened the Sooners scoring in the second with her 10th home run of the season. The Sooners won 8-0 in 5 innings. Big Friday Sports reporter Emily Labeth was at Loves Field and has more.
OU softball returned home to Loves Field for their first Big 12 meeting against BYU. With the help of home runs by Jada Coleman, Cassidy Pickering, and Sydney Sanders, the Sooners run-ruled the Cougars 8-0 to take the first game in the series. This win was the offensive push that OU needed to bounce back from their last conference series loss against Texas.
This felt really good. It's a good lift for kind of a frustrating situation out in Texas. So our goal is to get ourselves back under control and really come back attacking, dominating. We need to start peaking, and we've talked about that, and this is a good chance for us to build off of that.
It was just good for us to find our groove again, to see everyone getting a hit, some that didn't get a hit in Texas got a hit now. And it's just good to see that we're all firing together. Whether that be a walk, a hit by pitch, anything to get on, and then we just kind of rally off of that, build off of each at bat. I think that's the difference from Texas to now.
The Sooners swing back into action for Game 2 tonight at 6 p.m. and wrap up the series Saturday at 1. Reporting from Loves Field, Emily Labeth, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Emily. And as for the rest of the BYU series, OU softball looks to extend their win streak tonight at 6 and then tomorrow at 1. Next, Gasso's girls play Tulsa on Tuesday at 6, but hey, it won't be in Tulsa territory. The Sooners will play at Hall of Fame Stadium in OKC, and that's a lucky location for them. They've been crowned back-to-back national champions there.
Today we found out that the USA softball national team added a few Crimson and Cream members to their roster. Jocelyn Allo, Jada Coleman, Kenzie Hansen, and Kelly Maxwell will represent the U.S. at the Japan All-Star Series July 4th through the 8th. Tiara Jennings will appear in the WBSC Women's World Cup in Italy July 15th through the 21st.
And today, OU baseball is back to Big 12 play after showing the UT Arlington Mavericks they were the top guns last week. OU beat them 11-9. Skip's squad looks to declaw the K-State Wildcats at 6:30 in L. Dale Mitchell Park. The Sooners look to leave the conference with a bang. Right now, they're 8-4, and they're tied for first with West Virginia in those Big 12 standings.
According to On3, a former Oklahoma State center is considering changing sides of Bedlam and planning to visit OU. Brandon Garrison is a native of Del City and averaged 7.5 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks per game last season at OSU.
Yeah, it's rare to see OSU Cowboy turn Sooner, but to see a Longhorn turn Sooner is really rare, but not when OU DNA runs in the family. OU Nightly sports reporter Kaylee Jo Hummel caught up with one Oklahoma quarterback who's finally home.
I've had a lot of dreams, just me being in Memorial Stadium and taking snaps.
Dreams finally coming true for Casey Thompson after transferring to OU.
I'm getting goosebumps talking about it, but just driving by the stadium, and I used to sit outside and I used to be like, man, I wonder what it's like inside that facility, that Switzer Center. And so when I got the extra year, it was like a no-brainer.
Thompson competed right here in Moore Stadium for Southmore and played his senior year for Newcastle. So when it was time to make a final transfer decision, it was simple.
Coach Venables was like, what are you looking for? And I told him I just want to be back home.
And Brent Venables recognizes the value Thompson brings entering his 7th season of college football.
He's immediately able to bring a veteran presence to that room and somebody that the younger guys can lean on. He's been a starter several college games.
The quarterback not only has Sooner DNA, but Sooner blood. His dad and brother once suited up in the crimson and cream.
Being able to have my jersey someday, and I can put it in my dad's house, with my brother's jersey and my dad, that'll all be obviously very meaningful for our family.
Thompson once competed on the other side of the Red River, but he's looking forward to returning to Cotton Bowl Stadium in a color other than orange.
That's going to be a great experience to be, back at that game. I just can't wait for the crowd and the environment.
From Texas in the Big 12, Nebraska in the Big 10, to Florida Atlantic and the AAC, Thompson is staying focused heading into a new conference.
A lot of people talk about the SEC, whether that's in the media, in the community. Like I said, I think at the end of the day, football is football, and it's just important for us to focus on the things that we need to do here.
Thompson and the Sooners opened their season in the SEC August 30th against Temple. Reporting for OU Nightly, Kaylee Jo Hommel.
Thanks, Kaylee Jo. Oklahoma had some big basketball stars in town making a difference.
Find out who these stars are and where they're shining their light in the community.
And welcome back to Big Friday Sports. Here's your game day forecast right now. Those temperatures tonight for the game, 76 to 75 when first pitch happens. And throughout the night, it's going to get progressively colder. But tomorrow is going to be a great day for baseball and softball. Softball first pitch is at 1 p.m., baseball 4 p.m. And you see those temperatures increase from the 50s earlier in the day all the way to around the time of first pitch, 79 to 82. It's going to be a beautiful day for baseball, and it's going to be a beautiful day to hit dingers. Back to the desk.
Thanks, Drake. And whether it's baseball or basketball, having players and coaches that kids can look up into in the pros is amazing. And OU Nightly's Abby Williams went to a basketball camp for Native American youth where these kids got to learn skills from both current and former NBA players.
That's Milwaukee Bucks player Marjon Beauchamp, who visited Concho, Oklahoma to inspire a new generation of Indigenous athletes. The clinic is put on by Rise Above, a nonprofit dedicated to helping Native youth reach their full potential in sports.
When I grew up, I didn't have somebody to look up to that looked like me, and I always knew that I wanted to give back. I just didn't know what that meant or how I'd go back doing that.
Now, Beauchamp's presence in the NBA gives these young ballers a hero they can watch on TV. Milwaukee Bucks assistant coach and 4-time NBA All-Star Vin Baker is glad Beauchamp is able to inspire the next generation.
I was, believe it or not, a young adult before, a young person before, and super small and enthusiastic and loved the game of basketball, and always wished that I could have a coach or a former professional athlete come through and speak. And so I know the passion that they had, not just in basketball, in life.
And these kids aren't the only ones who adore Beauchamp.
I've been coaching with Marjon Beauchamp for the last 2 years, and he's one of my favorite people, so glad to be here with him as well.
The Rise Above program gives Indigenous athletes a chance to shoot for new achievements in sports. Reporting in Concho, Oklahoma, Abby Williams, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Abby. Tonight, the Thunder host the Bucks at 7 p.m. Milwaukee has some key players out for tonight's game, including Damian Lillard and Giannis. Here's what Jalen Williams had to say about the Thunder's mindset heading into tonight's game.
I'm hoping that a lot of what we've already done carries over. I feel like I said, like the stacking, that's what we're working on being ready for those games. And honestly, for me, I'm ready for the crowds. I'm ready for the environments, the loud city. I'm ready for. Like last game, they had a call, and I don't even think the guys on the court heard the whistle, and I'm ready for those type of moments.
And the Masters of Golf are going for the green. Day 2 of the Masters tournament is back. Bryson DeChambeau was the 18-hole leader after shooting an opening round 65. That's DeChambeau's lowest round at Augusta in his career. Right now, he's tied for first with Scotty Scheffler. They're 7 under par. Max Homa is making his way up there, though. He's in third, only 6 under par.
On Sooner Sports Pad Tuesday night, 2 current OU golfers shared their thoughts and feelings about the Masters. Check it out.
Augusta, Georgia is one of the most amazing places on earth. As a golf fan growing up, as a person that has heard all about Augusta, Georgia, the experience was nothing short of spectacular, and it lived up to everything I've heard of. It is perfect, everything about it.
And you can catch these 2 Sports Pad stars in their last regular season action today and tomorrow at the Thunderbird tournament. And no, not Lake Thunderbird. They're in Arizona at the Papago Golf Club in Phoenix. The number 14 Sooners face 6 ranked teams.
OU Track and Field hosts the 2024 John Jacobs Invitational today and tomorrow. Here's sophomore Allie Stevenson competing in the heptathlon, and she recorded her personal best in the shot put and 200. There are 10 Sooners currently ranked in the top 16 in the nation. The event will continue tomorrow starting at 9 a.m.
And the Big 12 is an all-you-can-eat buffet for the men's tennis team. They've been devouring the competition, only dropping 1 conference match and moving up to number 9 in the country. The Sooners wrap up their regular season at home tomorrow at 1 with a big one, Bedlam. OU looks to ride off with a win against the 33rd ranked OSU Cowboys.
OU women's tennis made their way to Texas to close out their regular season slate with 2 matches. Starting in Waco, the number 20 Sooners swept the number 34 Baylor 4-0 today. Then wrapping up their weekend on Sunday, they will head to Fort Worth to face the TCU Horned Frogs at 1 p.m.
Thanks for watching Big Friday Sports. I'm Kaylee Carnine.
And I'm Kenzie Eiserman. We'll see you next week. Have a fun and safe Sooner Sports-filled weekend.